Hello everybody, this is Tucker Miller here again, and tonight, like I said, for my next movie review, I'm gonna be reviewing on The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Came out in 1996. So anyways, let's get to the plot. So, the plot of this movie is we got this bellwether, this guy named Quasimodo, voiced by Tom Hanks, and Quasimodo is a bellwether of this cathedral called Notre Dame in Paris, France. And Quasimodo was locked up in the bell tower for all 20 years of his life, and he's tired of being locked up in the bell tower, and he wants to go outside and see what the real world is like outside the bell tower. But however, he was forbidden to leave the bell tower by his master Frollo, voiced by Tony J, because of his appearance. But however, Quasimodo decided to go anyway and to attend the Festival of Fools, and while he was there, he met this gypsy girl named Esmeralda, voiced by Demi Moore. And then Esmeralda realized that Frollo is mistreating Quasimodo the same way he's mistreating her people. And then Esmeralda stood up for Quasimodo, and then Quasimodo has fallen in love with Esmeralda, and then Frollo hates gypsies, and Frollo wants to get rid of Esmeralda and all the gypsies in Paris. So it's up to Quasimodo to save Paris and rescue Esmeralda from Frollo, and that's basically what the plot is. Now, what can I say about the Hunchback of Notre Dame? I love this movie so much. That's why I really love this movie so much. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is another one of my all-time favorite Disney animated movies. And this movie is based on the 1831 Victor Hugo novel of the same name, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. So, based on the 1831 Victor Hugo novel of the same name. So, and then, I just really love this movie so much. I really love the characters, the music, and the animation, and the story. This movie is so beautifully done, but at the same time, very dark, too. This movie is also pretty dark. This movie is actually rated G, although it should have been a PG, it should have gotten a PG rating, because this movie is very dark. This is a very dark film, but at the same time, very beautiful. But this movie may be dark, but is also very beautiful. So, I love this movie very much. It's another one of my favorite Disney animated films. It's somewhere in the top 5. So, this is my favorite Disney musical that Alan Menken has done too. So, Alan Menken did the music for The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin and Pocahontas. And he did the music for this film. And, this is my favorite Disney musical that Alan Menken has done. So, But I think my favorite Disney musical is actually The Lion King, which Lion King is my second favorite Disney animated film. So, this movie is somewhere in my top 5. So, yeah, when it comes to ranking of all the Disney animated films. So, yeah. I just love this movie so much. The characters, the story, everything, and the music is just very beautiful. Very, very dark film, but also very beautiful. So, yeah. But anyways, let's talk about the characters, shall we? Quasimodo? Quasimodo, he is a great character and a great hero, and I will definitely have to say Tom Hanks did a great job voicing Quasimodo. And yeah, Quasimodo is a great character, and I definitely have to say Tom Hanks did a great job voicing him. And of course, we got Esmeralda. Esmeralda, she's another great character. She's kind and I'm and and I love her for standing up for Quasimodo. So yeah, I love Esmeralda for standing up for Quasimodo when she stood up for Quasimodo. Yeah, I love Esmeralda. She's a great character, and I would definitely have to say Demi Moore did a great job voicing her. Yeah, Demi Moore did a great job voicing Esmeralda. And of course, we got this character Phoebus, Captain, who was the captain, Captain Phoebus. Phoebus, he's another great character now, and I'll definitely have to say Kevin Kline did a great job voicing him. And of course, Esmeralda's little pet goat, Jolly. She's funny, she's cute. And yeah, Jolly, the goat, she's cute. And also very funny, too. Esmeralda's little goat companion. And of course, we got the gargoyles. So we got Victor, voiced by the late Charles Kimbrough. Hugo, voiced by Jason Alexander. And Laverne, voiced by the late Mary Wicks. Which, Victor, Hugo, and Laverne, they're hilarious characters. The gargoyles are very hilarious. I could quote some of the scenes with them, like one where Hugo was eating and he said, "I thought I was the cute one," and Laverne was like, "No, you're the big fat stupid one with the big mouth." That scene was so hilarious, and Hugo was like, "What are you saying exactly?" and yeah. Yeah, another scene with Laverne, again voiced by Mary Wicks. Would you mind? I would like to have a moment with the boy if that's all right with you. Man, those pigeons are always landing on Laverne, and yeah, those pigeons are always landing on Laverne, and Laverne always scares them off, and yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and fun fact, Laverne, this was Mary Wick's last final movie that she did before she passed away a year before this movie came out. Because we all know, unfortunately, Mary Wicks sadly passed away in 1995, a year before this movie came out in 1996. So yeah, rest in peace to Laverne. She was a great actress, you know, Sister Act, White Christmas, and yeah, and all those great movies. And this was her final movie that she did before she passed, sadly. But yeah, sadly, so yeah, rest in peace to Mary Wicks. And that was her final movie that she did. That she was in. So yeah, that was Hunchback of Notre Dame was Mary Wicks' last very last movie that she was in. So yeah. Yeah, so yeah. I'll have to say, the late Charles Kimbrough did a great job voicing Victor. Jason Alexander did a great job voicing Hugo, and of course Jason Alexander, aka George from Seinfeld. Yep. And of course the late Mary Wicks did a great job voicing Laverne, and yet again that's her last role. So yeah, that was Mary Wicks' last role. So yeah. Yeah, the gargoyles there were hilarious. And Copeland, and I'm sorry I'm butchering the character's name, the guy with the puppet who told the story of Quasimodo, and yeah. And yep. Copeland, he's a great character. The puppeteer guy. He was a great character too. And of course, we cannot forget Frollo. Frollo, he is a great Disney villain, and one of the greatest Disney villains of all time. Frollo, he's an awesome villain. Anyone can agree, we can all agree that Judge Claude Frollo, he is one of the greatest Disney villains of all time. Alongside Trafalgar, Captain Hook, and Ursula, and Gaston, and Scar, and Cruella de Vil. But yeah, Frollo, and of course Maleficent. And yeah, Frollo, he is one of the greatest Disney villains of all time. So yeah, Frollo, great Disney villain. One of the best Disney villains of all time. And I will definitely have to say, the late Tony J, did a great job voicing Frollo. So yeah. Yeah, Frollo, great villain. One of the greatest Disney villains of all time. And his song was great too, which we'll get to in a minute. So yeah, but honestly, those are the characters I could think up on top of my head. But anyways, let's talk about the songs in this film. I know all the songs from this film. First song we got is The Bells of Notre Dame. The Bells of Notre Dame, that was a great song. And that was sung by the puppeteer guy, Copeland, if I'm pronouncing his name right. But yeah. That was sung by Copeland, the Archdeacon, and Frollo. So, yeah. Yeah, that was a great... The Bells of Notre Dame was a great song. And another great song from this film Out There, was sung by Frollo and Quasimodo. Out There was a great song from this film. I love the song Out There. Where, the song where Quasimodo dreams about being outside of the bell tower of the Cathedral of Notre Dame. And yeah, I love the song Out There. And also another great song, Topsy Turvy, sung by Copeland, the puppet guy. Topsy Turvy was another great song from this film. And now another great song, which is very beautiful, and my favorite song from this film, God Held the Outcast, I love the song God Held the Outcast, and that was the song sung by Esmeralda. God Held the Outcast was sung by Esmeralda. Inside of the cathedral. So, yeah, I love the song God Held the Outcast. I'll easily say God Held the Outcast is my favorite song from this film. It is just very beautiful. I love Esmeralda's singing voice too, so yeah. Yeah, and I remember listening to that song a lot back in middle school. And I still do to this day. I would listen to the soundtrack to this film like all the time in middle school. So yeah, because that's when the movie has started grow this movie has since grown on me when I was in middle school. So yeah, I just love the song "God Held the Outcasts." I I would listen to it a lot during my middle school years, and yeah, and I still do to this day. So yeah, I just love the song "God Held the Outcast." So yeah, "God Held the Outcast," best song from this movie. And another great song from this movie, "Heaven's Light," sung by Quasimodo, and after that song, and the next song after "Heaven's Light" was "Hellfire," sung by Flora, where Flora, the song "Hellfire," where he's in front of the fire and you see like a vision of Esmeralda in flames, and yeah. "Hellfire" is one of the greatest songs sung by a Disney villain. Of course, Flora sung it, and yeah, I really like the song "Hellfire." So yeah, "Hellfire" is a great song from this film. And of course, the song "A Guy Like You," sung by Victor Hugo and Laverne, the Gargoyles. "A Guy Like You" is another great song from this film. And of course, the "Court of Miracles" song sung by Chopin and yeah, Chopin, when Quasimodo and Phoebus were in the Court of Miracles trying to find Esmeralda and warn all the other gypsies that Frollo is gonna be coming. So yeah. The Court of Miracles song, that was a great song too. And the song from the end credits, Someday, that was a great song too. And fun fact, the song "Someday" was originally going to be sung by Esmeralda. There was a deleted scene where Esmeralda was supposed to sing the song "Someday," which I might put a link in the description below. So yeah, for that cut scene, which "Someday" was originally going to be sung by Esmeralda, but was later replaced with the song "God Held the Outcast." But the song "Someday" was heard in the end credits, and "Someday" is a great song. So yeah. But anyways, those are all the songs I can think of on top of my head. In fact, I think that's all the songs from this film. Yeah, I pretty much know all the songs from this movie. So yeah, and those are all the songs and music. And now, and I remember back in middle school, I used to watch this movie a lot during middle school. I would talk about it a lot at middle school. So yeah, I just really love this movie a lot. So yeah. Yeah, I remember one time, I remember I had some memories with this film too, like not just back in my middle school years. I remember when we ordered these Toy Story puppets from Burger King off of eBay. We gotten like the whole set of Toy Story puppets, but I guess they also included a puppet of Quasimodo. So yeah, which is pretty cool. I don't have the Quasimodo puppet anymore. I think I gave it to one of my cousins, I don't remember what we did with it, but yeah, I remember I had the Quasimodo puppet from Burger King. And I remember my late uncle made Quasimodo hold a cookie. The Quasimodo puppet hold a cookie. I remember that. And rest in peace to my uncle. My late uncle. My uncle on my mom's side. So yeah. And I think I watched this movie before back in like 2011, 2012. I don't remember much from that viewing. But around 2016, I decided to rewatch it. And I loved it ever since 2016. And yeah, and this was one of my favorite Disney movies since middle school. Because yeah, I would listen to the soundtrack a lot back in my middle school years. So yeah. Yeah, and I remember one time in middle school, in 8th grade, back in 2019, we actually watched this the entire class watched this movie on the same week where the actual Notre Dame Cathedral burned, caught on fire. So yeah, which we all remember that the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris caught on fire back in 2019, and yeah, I remember that it was all over the news that week and back in April of 2019. So yeah, everyone at school was talking about it, and yeah. And then that week, when the same week we watched this movie, they showed us this movie, and yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Watching this movie on the same week when Notre Dame burned, which is sad. But however, the actual Notre Dame Cathedral is now reopened. It was reopened to public back in December of 2024. So yeah. Yeah, and I really want to go to Paris to see the Notre Dame Cathedral. And even my grandma has seen the Notre Dame Cathedral in person too, like 25 years ago, back in September 2000. So yeah, my grandma saw the actual Notre Dame Cathedral too. And I really want to see the actual Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. I really want to go to Paris one day. So yeah, to visit Notre Dame and of course the Eiffel Tower and stuff like that. But anyways, we're getting off topic, but yeah. Yeah, Hunchback of Notre Dame, classic. Classic from 1996. So, yeah. Yeah, I remember watching this film a couple times in middle school, including the week when Notre Dame caught on fire, which was sad. So, yeah. Yeah, I have some memories with this film. So, yeah. Yeah, Hunchback of Notre Dame. Great story, great animation, great characters, great songs, and yeah. But very dark film, but also very beautiful. So, yeah. But anyways, that's all I can say about the Hunchback of Notre Dame. So anyways, I'm gonna give the Hunchback of Notre Dame a 10 out of 10. There are absolutely no flaws with this film whatsoever. So, yeah. But anyways, that is it for my movie review on The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And stay tuned for my next movie review, which will be on Hercules. But until then, see you in the next video. Bye.